Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and all other wonderful things. It's your boy, Evil Pikachu. Literally Evil Pikachu this time. I'm not playing Elden Ring. I'm back to my usual self. I know. We all have to make changes. Just thought I'd make a quick video outlining the events of the day, mostly to kill some time while I'm waiting for the Moogle Mail to deliver my new fecking mount, because I paid for it like 20 minutes ago and there's no sign of the damn thing. Yeah, logged in just to check my messages and a few other things, and, you know, make sure my retainers were doing their jobs, and there was an alert saying, you know, the sale for these mounts ends in like 5 minutes, right? Like, ah, shit! I thought I had like a week left on that. So, quick decision time. Yes, I do want the mount. Hopefully you'll get to see it by the end of this video. Depends entirely on how many Square Enix employees are presently awake at 4:32 in the morning here in the UK. Yeah, I don't do that thing you call sleep. We're here in my hometown of Gridania. Love it here. Grew up here. Started as a Lancer here. Hence why I always come back. Even though the DKF Free Company property is actually in Limsa. It's in there. It's weird because I spent forever in this game saving up 500,000 gil because I don't know any particularly great ways of making money. So I saved up 500,000 gil. It took me like a fucking year, right? And I bought an apartment with it just so that I gained access to the stables and I could change my Chocobo's colouring. That's the only reason I did it. Right? Just so I could have a different colour Chocobo while I was out riding. And my Chocobo, Kimagi, she wasn't even white like she is now. She was originally, well, she started yellow, obviously, they all do. I screwed up the mix and I got blue. So I had a blue Chocobo for like fucking months until I figured out how to change her. And yeah, I say her. I mean, canonically, all of the riding Chocobos are male, but bollocks to Square Enix for not giving us the option there. Like, she's been my lifelong companion, and it's a girl as far as I'm concerned. There, I fucking said it. Deal with it. So, the thing is, I want to go out and do some adventuring, but on the other hand, I know that as soon as I warp out of here, the fucking mail light's going to light up, and I'm going to have to go and find another post Moogle. So... However, I do have business to attend to at the Morrowby Dry Docks, because I actually haven't been playing this game for about 2 weeks now, because I've had Elden Ring to be getting on with and a bunch of other shit's been going on. I've been so busy. Like, even outside of gaming, you know, shockingly, I actually do occasionally do my job as well and do some writing. And get the blog articles up to date and stuff like that. It's very rare, I'll grant you, so it's like, you'd be forgiven for assuming that I do nothing. Most days it's a relatively safe assumption. But, yeah, like I said, I haven't been around here for a little while. Thankfully, I left my island sanctuary on auto run, so I should at least have made some money. These ridiculous coins you need to get. There's my dolphin there, my polyp thing, Guido the turtle. There's a bunch of my minions running loose on the island. As I said, I've been keeping up with all of the latest videos on FF14 content and the like, but like I said, the Island Sanctuary's neat. It's just I have games like this, you know, I have stuff like Stardew Valley, which is just better. 431, is that it? What the fuck did you do all week? Nothing, apparently. Alright. Whatever. I said, you don't seem to be able to earn these cowries at a decent enough rate. It's... I've been watching the videos like Mioni and that, and it's like there's whole spreadsheets you need to memorize. It's like, how much free time do you believe I have? Yeah? So I want to get the wings, I want to get the minion, and more to the point, when you reach level 10, which is going to take me forever, because I've got, you know, shit to do, for 24,000 of these things, you can get a motorbike, which I don't really need because I already have the almighty king of all vehicles here, that is the SDS Fenrir, i.e. Cloud's motorbike from Advent Children. Like, one of the first cash shop purchases I made. Like, when I really started getting into this game, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to keep my subscription going. Like, priority one was getting the fucking Fenrir. And it turns out that was a pretty solid investment, actually, because the Fenrir naturally has +1 movement speed. So it's, you know... Alright, I mean, this is like the maximum speed you can go on any mount here, but it's like take the Bosnian Southern Front, for example. I am barely started with that crap. So I haven't unlocked any of the mount speed upgrades yet. But... because Fenrir is naturally faster, I can get around a bit quicker. The only problem is, because I've been gone for like 2 straight weeks at least, I'd be genuinely surprised if any of my pets here don't, you know, fucking hate my guts, because I just sort of left them to starve. I haven't automated the system yet, so they've just been, you know, sitting there dying. They don't seem to care, so why should I? Let's give him a pet. I'll give him some food in a minute. As I said, we're just killing time waiting for the light to go on so I can show the new mount. I'll say new to me anyway, obviously it's been out for a while. So. Aside from that, it's been quite a fun day for us gamers as a whole. We've had a Nintendo Direct today, and we had the PlayStation State of Play. And the yawning gulf of quality betwixt the two is genuinely staggering. So, I mean, we had the Direct this afternoon, at 3 o'clock UK time. You know. And it was quite a fair amount of stuff announced. New Fire Emblem, we knew that was coming. See, we got Octopath Traveler 2, that's pretty dope. There's more information on it, like Front Mission 3 is now getting a remaster, for example. Obviously, we got the... well, we got the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, but I gotta be honest with you, it's like, it's just a name reveal, it's not that hype to me. Yeah, it's like there wasn't much really said that was particularly interesting about it. But, you know, people have got different reasons to be hyped, especially if you love farming games, which is another reason why I'm not particularly fussed about Island Sanctuary here, because, well, it's not like I don't have options for farming games, like even Final Fantasy XIV has one. Like, there were like, what, 5, 6 farming games shown at Nintendo Direct? It's a bit much, lads. I mean, don't get me wrong, they all look... aside for, what is it, Fae Farm, I think, looked a bit too Disney, for want of a better term. Didn't look like anything particularly special, but the rest looked alright. You know, Rune Factory remasters are always welcome, that sort of stuff. But by and large, you know, us Nintendo fans are eating well today. Obviously, you know, there's the reveal of GoldenEye with online multiplayer. I mean, people are absolutely losing their minds over that. And I know how it's going to go. You're going to suddenly remember just how badly GoldenEye has actually aged. And you'll be like, why didn't they redo it? Because you told them not to, maybe. You said it had to be perfect to the original standards. It's like, you forgot how crap it is. Like, it wasn't even that great at the beginning. It's just like you weren't used to... Like, we didn't have dual analog controls back then. Only Ape Escape had dual analog controls back then. Yeah. So... I don't think it's going to be quite as legendary as people remember, but, you know, I get it essentially free with my Nintendo online subs, so no skin off my rosy nose. The only thing that annoys me is that one of the games that they announced coming to the service is 1080 Snowboarding, which I'm sure is a perfectly good game, but that massively reduces the chances that my preferred game, Snowboard Kids 1 or 2, ideally both, will come to the service. Because I absolutely adore Snowboard Kids. It's like one of my favourite games of all time, but it's like unplayable on any emulator. The emulators, for whatever reason, for N64 are just fucking garbage. Like, hardly any of them work. I guess it just uses like weird architecture or something. I don't know. It's just, for whatever reason, you can't emulate this crap. And the second one was never even released in the UK, as far as I'm aware. So, like, if it was an absurdly limited run, because I've never seen a physical copy of it. Well, I've seen the American version, obviously, you know, rated E for everyone, but there's no UK equivalent, to my knowledge. So, I would really have preferred Snowboard Kids. And yeah, we did get the Breath of the Wild trailer, but we got nothing on the classic Zeldas like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, which everyone's theorising are coming to the Switch soon. Although, you know, just because they're theorising, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. You know, people just chat shit on the internet and expect it to come true. Well, I don't do that. I just say Pika-Pee to people and expect it to be funny. Same difference, you might argue, but... absolutely fucking nothing from the lottery today. Don't know why I bother with you people. And, well, I mean, like the Pokemon Stadium games are coming, but, like, without the transfer pack technology, it's just... they're kind of basic. Like, the whole point of the original N64 versions was it was going to be your Pokemon on the screen. Without the transfer pack, you're using rental Pokemon, and... well, they suck. I mean, they'll do the job, they'll get you through the game, but it's just like, it kind... like, obviously, you can't pick and choose their moves and so on and so forth. You're just stuck with whatever they are by default. I don't see how that can be particularly great on the service. I just don't think it's going to have the full potential. I'll still play them, but... and... the other big thing was that there was no mention of the, again, long-rumoured Game Boy Advance emulator coming to the Switch, which I'm in two minds about, because on the one hand it's pretty reasonable to assume that an official Nintendo version will have better emulation than anything I can manage, because, you know, they're actual professionals, they get paid to do that crap. So it's reasonable to assume that their Game Boy Advance emulator would be fully functional with no bugs. But on the other hand, I recently finished hacking my PlayStation Vita, because at this point, why not? The system's been basically dead for like 2 years. Like, you think anyone cares at this point? Sony barely remember that the Vita exists, never mind that you're not supposed to hack the pissing thing. They don't care. So I actually have a pretty solid RetroArch Game Boy Advance emulator. Only like 2 games so far have been proving to be a problem. And that's Robot Wars Extreme Destruction, a game I loved as a kid. That's always been tricky to get working. And it will work on one of the cores, but not the main one, and it suffers from pretty heavy-duty slowdown. It's like worse than it was on the original hardware. It's playable, but, you know, I've seen it done better. Ironically, my Super Nintendo Mini can play it surprisingly well. I don't know how it's managed that. So, and the other one is the original Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku. For whatever reason, as I understand it, I did a bit of research on this. It's because it uses some different, was it EEPROM type save file, and for whatever reason it uses like a different size, and the emulator just does not recognize that setting. It just refuses to acknowledge it. So I assume this is some sort of really antiquated, weird anti-piracy measure that I'm falling prey to, but again, I'll try getting it through legitimate means now. When was the last time you saw a Game Boy Advance game for sale, or a Game Boy Advance for that matter? like, if I could play it legit, I probably would. Again, if it was on the Nintendo Switch service, I'd be playing it there, but it's not, and you're not giving me a better option. So, you know, don't give me that, oh, well, you're just not allowed to play it then. Stick it up your arse. It exists, I'll enjoy it. About done here. The thing is, because I've been gone for like 2 weeks, I can't remember what I was doing or why. So... fuck it, let's go to Old Arthur. No immediately apparent reason. Anyway, like I said, the Nintendo Direct was... It's kind of hit and miss. I'd give it about an 8 out of 10. It had some pretty solid moments to it, but it had this, I said, weird obsession with farming games, and I'm okay with that. Farming games are pretty solid. I absolutely adored Harvest Moon on Game Boy Advance. A funny story about that, actually. I actually only got into Harvest Moon because my import guy, back in Derby when I lived in that general vicinity, he was supposed to be getting me Sonic Advance 2 way ahead of schedule, but something went wrong. It got held up at customs or something. There was some sort of argument over his import license or some crap. I don't remember the exact details. This was like 20 odd years ago. Give me a chance here. And he said, look, I know, you know, you've come a long way, you know, you've been saving up for ages. I'm sorry I don't have it. He's like, I tell you what, we got this new game in this morning, this Harvest Moon Friends of Mineral Town. It's like, I've been looking at the back of the box for this for about 2 hours and I still can't figure out what the bloody hell it's supposed to be. So how about this? You grab this and you give it a try for me, right? And if you don't like it, then you can bring it back and swap it for Sonic Advance 2 the minute I've got it in. You know, I'll give you a call and let you know and everything. And, you know, if it turns out you like it, then you can keep it. You know, I was like, alright, fair enough. I need Summit to do this weekend. Yeah, I ended up paying for Sonic Advance 2 because I just got completely hooked on Harvest Moon. It's like... it took a while to, you know, click for me, figure out what the hell I was supposed to be doing, but, you know, I've had a lot of experiences like that, frankly, over the years. Hell, Final Fantasy XIV took me forever to figure out what the fuck I was doing and why. I actually did play Final Fantasy XIV a couple of times prior to this current run as the almighty evil Pikachu. I did legitimately play Final Fantasy XIV 1.0. We do not talk about the dark times. Okay, I played it on a friend's PC and he has tech skills far above anything I've ever managed. And my god, did it suck. Even on his uber-powerful PC, it was slow, it was clunky. And it's like, even when it was firing on all cylinders without the massive tech issues, it was just fucking boring. Nothing worked. Nothing was right with it. It was an absolute... it went beyond toilet fire. We're talking straight up Portaloo Inferno here. Okay, like, this is the entire row of Portaloos at the Reading Festival, just a sea of flames. That sort of bad, you know, like full-blown diarrhea typhoon. Okay. Then when A Realm Reborn came out on PS3, I played it, but I'd only just moved into the tower block in Coventry at the time, and I didn't actually have my own Wi-Fi, which for an MMO is kind of a fucking deal breaker. So I could only play it by hauling my TV and my PS3 up to my friend's flat above mine. He, you know, he's now my flatmate. You know, we both escaped from the dungeon of Coventry together. Thank Christ for that. Why is there a Goku up there? This is about as far as I got with my original character. Again, it just did not click for me. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I just wanted to explore, right? And I did not realise that this is not how MMOs work, right? Not at the start, anyway. Like, you start to just go out there and fight things and get experience, and then you move up to this next area, then here, and then you finally get to the station up here. Yeah? Doing quests and stuff along the way. I just ran out of Uldar, started as a gladiator, ran out here, and then got to about here. I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. And because my access to Wi-Fi was so limited and the game just hadn't clicked with me at all, I just didn't bother playing past my free trial. Because back then it was a 30-day free trial. There was none of this stuff that you get these days where it is, you know, until level 60s. Like, you get a flat 30 days, that's it. Right? And I don't know, I just didn't see the point. But in the run-up to Shadowbringers, like, I saw the trailer for Shadowbringers at, I think it was E3 or Tokyo Game Show, one of the two. And I just looked at it and said, no fucking way is that Final Fantasy. No way. That looks absolutely incredible. I really should give this game another try. Because at this point, I had set my own Wi-Fi up and money wasn't quite so tight anymore. So, you know, £9 a month on the subscription wasn't that big a deal. And I looked around and I found what was at the time the complete edition, i.e. A Realm Reborn, Heavensward and Stormblood. The physical copy only cost me like £5. So I thought, you know what, screw it, for that I'll give it a whirl. And yeah, basically never looked back. I actually did some research this time on how MMOs are supposed to work, and I took my time with it and listened to the instructions, and it just clicked a hell of a lot better. So yeah, this is my third run at this game, but thankfully it stuck this time. Also worth noting, I wasn't originally a Lalafell. So, long story short, there is a reason I call myself Evil Pikachu, but I don't like talking about it because it involves my family, and I would prefer to keep, you know, business and whatnot separate. Like, that's my business. Yeah, there's the mail icon, so we can finally go check with the mail Moogle. Took you what, like half an hour? Right, sack that mail Moogle. He's fucking lazy. Speaking of which, where the bloody hell is the mail Moogle in here? Oh, that's the itinerant Moogle. Where's the mail Moogle? Ah, there we are, delivery Moogle. Anyway, when I started the game, because I'd played on PlayStation 3, my original character is obviously locked to PS3. To that, it's what happens. I created an account that's linked with my PSN account, and there is a method of unlinking them, but it's absolutely backwards. I never got it working. And the end result is that since I'd lost the login details for that original account, I couldn't pick up where I left off. I had to start again from scratch, right? Which is why I play on an alternate PlayStation Network account. Because my usual PSN account is not Evil Pikachu, it's Blaze163, my name and squadron ID. Has been for like fucking 15 years, right? Like, seriously, that profile is ancient. But, yeah, I had to set up another account, and I'd been working on something with someone dear to me where we'd been playing Pokemon Art Academy, and it kept telling us, oh, you're going to paint this Pikachu today. Now, make sure you make it cute, and, well, we're just notorious trolls, so it's just like, fuck you, don't tell me what to do. I will paint this Pikachu however I damn well please. This is art, motherfucker. I will do it my way. So we did, and we made it really sinister and evil looking. And I really liked it. I really liked the outcome, so I was just like, okay, so we've created an evil Pikachu. And it just I chose the name essentially in honor of that. So anyway, here's our new mount for the day, the Cruise Chaser, otherwise known as Ark from Final Fantasy IX. Oh man, that is sweet. God, I look tiny up there. I mean, I am tiny. I'm literally the smallest character you can feasibly play as. I'm a Lalafell with height set to minimum. It doesn't get any smaller than that. There you go. I have a mech suit now. I was having a rough day, so I bought a mech. Oh, and by the way, it does this. Admit it, that's cool. I'm not sure if it's 12 quid's worth of cool, but it's cool. Anyway, so yeah, that's why I play on an alternate account, and that's why I am Evil Pikachu. It started as a joke. It started as an act of artistic rebellion. It just kind of stuck. You know what makes me laugh? We actually went all the way back to Uldar to check the mail, and there's a delivery Moogle right there. So, yeah, that's how this all got started. So, I'm glad I stuck with it, and then there was some rough going through A Realm Reborn. Heavenswood was fantastic. Stormblood was decent, but didn't quite hook me the way that the rest did, and then Shadowbringers and everything since has just completely smashed it out of the park with every single sentence. Endwalker is probably one of the greatest RPG stories I've ever played. It's right up there with Persona 5, so like, it is damn near flawless in my eyes. So yeah. So anyway, back to what I was talking about before I rambled on a massive tangent, as I usually do, because despite being a writer, I have no storytelling discipline. I'm starting to wonder if I need a new career. Like, I waffle a lot, maybe I'd make a good politician. I'm also an arsehole, so I definitely fit the bill. Anyway, so yeah, the Nintendo Direct was pretty solid today. The PlayStation State of Play was a bit more hit and miss for me. There are a couple of, weeby samurai games, so, that got my interest, but one of them's PlayStation 5 exclusive, so that's out, because I haven't got that kind of money. Tekken 8, the trailer looked phenomenal, but until I see actual gameplay... I mean, they claim it's actual gameplay, but it's obviously heavily edited, heavily doctored. It's like, yeah, let me see some actual raw gameplay footage and I'll make a decision. I never really got into fighting games anyway. I do own Tekken 7, but A, I don't have PlayStation Plus anymore, because I can't afford it or really justify the expense, I guess, more accurately. And B, I just don't have the time and energy and willpower to do the same thing 900,000 million times and get just, like, autistically good at a fighting game. It's like, at least with MMOs, there's only one rotation to learn, like, as a Dragoon. Like, now that I know how my basic combo works, that's it. I've essentially mastered the job. There's a little more to it than that, obviously, with, weavings and stuff like that, and builds for different situations and all that, but it's pretty minimal. So, Tekken 8 looks fantastic, visuals are great, and Well, it's a Tekken game, so I'm sure the soundtrack will be bitching, because even though I never really got into Tekken, a huge chunk of my workout mix for when I'm hitting the heavy bag is the Tekken 7 soundtrack, because it's fucking sweet. So, like, I don't even own the DLC character. What's her name? Lydia Sobek, I think it is, something like that. The Prime Minister lady. She was like the last character added to Tekken 7. But I do have her stage theme music. It was set as my ringtone at one point. It's a pretty dope song. And there's a bunch of others from the soundtrack that I've got on there. The rest of it, honestly, was a little bit miss for me. So I'm obviously, as a storyteller and a fan of narrative. I should hope so anyway, that's my fucking job. I was more into the sort of JRPG side of things with the Switch. That had like the remake of Tales of Symphonia, Octopath Traveler 2, the new Fire Emblem. JRPG fans are eating well today on the Switch, but honestly, the only thing in the PlayStation Showcase that even remotely got my blood pumping was God of War. And I never really went massively in on the God of War series. I do have the PS4 one. I have finished it. I did enjoy it. But it's one of those games that it's like, I played through it, I enjoyed it at the time, and then I pretty much just kind of forgot it existed. It was a one-and-done deal. I could have rented it and achieved the same effect. So I don't get why people are so obsessed with it like it's the greatest game on PS4. It really, really isn't. At least not in my mind. But to each their own, I suppose. But I think generally us gamers are eating well. We're doing pretty fantastic out of today. I mean, at the end of the day, you got a PlayStation Showcase and a Nintendo Direct on the same day. Like within hours of each other. So, there was bound to be something for you today, no matter where it was. You found something you can get hyped for. I'm not all in favour of going, full-fledged, banging the tambourine in the Sony choir or anything. Like if you're excited for a game, then great, good for you. But don't go claiming it's going to be the greatest thing ever. It's going to totally change your life or anything, because very few games are capable of doing that, and I don't think anything that was announced today is going to be one of those. But I could be wrong. It's like just the title drop for Breath of the Wild 2 has just gotten people just completely losing their minds. I'm like, why? It's a title. Does its title really affect you that much? You were going to buy it regardless, because you're a fucking fanboy. I'm just flying my airship around here. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But you see my point, though. It's just like people have taken it a little too seriously today. But I'm glad that they're happy. I mean, don't let my utter soullessness shit on your joy. That's a me problem, not a you problem. Mostly. The problem I don't like with these mounts is when they've got something coming out the back of this, if you've got your camera even remotely close, that's all you can see. Because your camera controls on the PS4, it's how you show where you're flying. So if I put the camera down like that, so that I'm not, getting a blast of exhaust directly into me fucking camera, then I end up crashing into the floor. I mean, we've got Tokyo Game Show at the end of this week. Tomorrow, thinking on it. So, I was under the impression that wasn't until like November, but I just, people were banging on about TGS, and I was like, when is it this year? Like, oh, holy crap! It's like tomorrow. Fair enough. So, in general, what I would say about today is we gamers are eating very well. There's plenty to be excited about. I'm not sure this mount was worth £12. But I picked this up in the sale, and it's like, it's a great mount, don't get me wrong. I love the detail for it, I love the design. But it's like, I can get an entire game for £12. It's a cosmetic item at the end of the day. I was just like, a fiver would have done. You know, like maybe £7, you know, for a multi-mount. You know, alright, that one transforms, maybe 8 at an absolute most. I paid 12 for it, you know, I got it in the sale. I was definitely not paying 17.5 for it. You'd sod right off. But it's the only thing I don't like about Final Fantasy XIV, aside from, you know, how utterly fucking woefully dull some of A Realm Reborn was, is the pricing in the Mog Station. And even that's a pretty minor complaint, because it's all optional stuff. It's like almost everything I've ever bought from there. I think aside from the Sip Tea emote, because I am, of course, British, I bought that day one full price. Everything else I just pick up when it's on offer. You know, maybe it's only like 25-30% off, so I'd rather wait for the sale. So, yeah, hopefully TGS will be interesting. I seriously doubt we'll get any, you know, Final Fantasy news or anything like that, because if they were going to announce it, they'd have done it by now. But, I mean, we did get Theatre Rhythm for the Switch. That looks pretty swish. Like, I loved the Theatre Rhythm games on the 3DS. They were awesome. And now they're going to have, you know, Final Fantasy XIV music and everything in it. Like, I don't think they had that originally. So, like, Final Fantasy XIV was still sort of, you know, finding its feet back then. So I think there are a couple of DLC tracks, you know. So, but anyway, that is it from Evil Pikachu for 2 reasons. 1, I have run out of things to waffle on about, and 2, it's 5:08 in the fucking morning. I really do need to go to bed. So, you know, give me your opinion on the Nintendo Direct, on the PlayStation Showcase, the State of Play, your best predictions for TGS. Are you disappointed that we didn't get Twilight Princess or like Advance Wars or Metroid didn't show up at the Nintendo Direct? Is that a big deal for you? I mean, I wish they just... The thing is that we know Advance Wars is ready to go. Like, people have already managed to acquire it, like, through sketchy means on the Switch. It's like, just fucking release it already. So... yeah. As I said, let me know in the comments as to how gaming is treating you these days, and whether it's as my fluffy little yellow lala self, or my weebish, constantly dying Elden Ring counterpart. I will see you again shortly. So, although I do find it kind of worrying that I'm playing games where I die a lot, because... I'm either playing Elden Ring, where the whole point is to die all the time, or I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV as a Dragoon, and, well, I'm tanking the floor as the, you know... Like, Dragoons were making a name for themselves. They were almost out of the floor tanking memes, and then I came along and put them all back at full strength. Sorry about that. So, I'm going to go and take a nap, and basically I'm going to try to do something that doesn't involve me dying. Because I don't want it giving me a complex. I'm probably, you know, past the point of no return on that one, but I have to try. So I will see you again next time when I have something hopefully more interesting to talk about, because this is just me killing time. Thank you for listening, and catch you in the next one.